What do you put on a flyer? This is a great question, and we get to talk about this today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by House Call Pro, which is the #1 service software for service professionals. So if you own a pressure washing company or a window cleaning company or a house cleaning company or any of these other companies that service the home, you want to go to housecallpro.com/Angela, and they'll walk you on a demo through their software. The software streamlines all the different admin tasks that run in the background of your business so that you are more effective and more efficient with your scheduling, your upkeep of your customers, all the different details of the business, your invoicing, your credit card processing, all that stuff. It's all on one app, and they'll give you a free demo with no obligations whatsoever. If you do decide to buy, there's a special deal that you can get by clicking the link, housecallpro.com/Angela, and it's for me and my friends. Alrighty, on to today's show. I am super excited that we're joined today by a guest expert, Bobby Walker from TRT Pressure Washing and Window Cleaning in Orlando, Florida. Now, his wife also owns a cleaning business, and together they have figured out some really amazing ways to market your business inexpensively. One of those ways are flyers, and he's going to share with us today what you put on a flyer and what you do not put on a flyer in order for the phone to ring. So I'm super excited. Please help me welcome Bobby Walker.
All right, my name is Bobby Walker. I own a pressure washing and window cleaning company here in Orlando, Florida. We are finishing our third year of business. In our first 3 years, we've done a little over $1 million in revenue, and we're loving life, trying to take over the world and having a good time while we're doing it.
Well, I'm so proud of you because I know a couple of things behind the scenes. You got your own YouTube show, you got a podcast, you got all kinds of things to market your business. But today we were going to talk a little bit about some inexpensive ways to start your business. I wanted to ask you some questions about flyers. You said that you'd had some experience with flyers. What was your experience picking up some new clients?
Well, two reasons I love flyers. One, they work, and two, I like helping other people that were like me, that are like I used to be, being new and didn't have a big budget for marketing. So if you don't have a big budget, flyers are a great way to grow. And I know like numbers with pressure washing companies versus like housekeeping companies are a little different, but $20K a month is pretty decent for like a owner operator pressure washing company. And we built our business to doing $20K a month just using flyers. So it's a great method and it works. It's, to quote one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans. It's just like Novocaine. Give it time and it'll work.
I love it. So is there something special that you put on your flyers?
I would say there's two ways I could address that. So yes, there's something special you put on it, and there's some special stuff you don't put on it. Okay. So let's talk about some of the things you don't want to put on real quick. First off, you don't want to put on a lot of information. Okay. You don't want to put a large logo or a large company name. And the reason why is businesses like ours, we're just not a national household brand. So people aren't going to see your name and think, oh, that's who I need to use. Okay. And then when I say you don't want to put a lot of info, you just don't want a lot of words, quite frankly, regardless of what the words are. Now, what you do want is a very clear headline. This is what we do. So like one of my best performing ones that we've used for a long, long time, the headline says pressure washing, window cleaning, and more. Real simple, straightforward. So that way in that 1 or 2 seconds that you have while someone's about to go wad your flyer up because they're angry that you left it at their house, at least you have a chance to get their attention that this is what I offer and this is what we do. Next, you want to make sure that you have a very clear offer for them. $25 off your first 2 house cleanings, $50 off a roof cleaning over $300 or something like that. Statistics show that a dollar amount off gets a better response than a percentage off because it registers better emotionally with people. So you want a clear heading, you want a clear offer, and then you want to be visual too. So you want photos of the services that you offer. So for us, I have a big 8.5 by 11 sheet. I have 4 big photos, one of a roof cleaning, one of a house wash, one of a driveway cleaning, and one of window cleaning. So it gives people the words that they can read. It gives them the visual. And then it says flip over for savings, and you flip over and it's got a couple of big old coupons on the back for them. So those are some basic design elements that you want to make sure that you follow.
Now, is that 4-color print or is that black and white?
Full color is going to be better. Just for obvious reasons, it attracts people's attention. I actually have a black and white one hanging on my, it was the first flyer I designed. It was terrible. all in black and white, and it's hanging on my refrigerator just to remember the good old days. But you want to do color for sure.
And are you using then like an inkjet printer to do that? Or are you having this printed at like Vistaprint?
No, I don't use Vista Print specifically, but I use a printer. I've used an online printer. I've used a local printer with flyers. I was able to get like the big 8.5 by 11s, color, both sides glossy, and I think I could get 5,000 of them for like 400 or 500 bucks if I remember right. It's been a while since I've used those specific types of flyers.
And so once you have the flyers in hand, is there any specific place that you go to drop them off, or is it just you just kind of plaster the area nearby, or what
Yeah,
is your process?
great question. So I'm going to try to. I know this is a short show, but so I'm going to try to address a few of these things real quick, and you just keep me reined in here, Angela. Okay. So first, you got to have the right mentality when you're really doing any kind of marketing, but especially with like door knocking, flyers, stuff like that. You're not trying to convince people that they need to use your service. You're just trying to find the people that already want it. You're just trying to find the house where the husband and the wife, they were sitting there having breakfast before they went to work, and the wife said, you still haven't pressure washed the thing, or you still haven't got me a maid or whatever. And then next thing you know, they got a flyer on the door later that day, and they're like, oh my goodness, this is a godsend, and it's amazing. And so it's a numbers game. You want to get it to your market demographic. So you don't just want to put them anywhere. You want to do your market research, make sure you know what zip codes you need to be going in, what, how expensive the homes need to be and all that. So you go to the correct home, you get tons and tons and tons of them, because you just got to find the people that already want it, because flyers won't convince someone that they need it. It's just going to let them know that you offer it. And then you didn't ask this question, but the follow up is frequency. So like if I could kind of like break things down, you got to have the right mentality so you don't quit. You're just trying to find the ones that want it. You got to have the proper design, not too busy, not too much, but effective. You've got to hit the correct areas, which you need to do your market research, which is a whole other podcast longer than 10 minutes. And then frequency. Statistics show that you can almost expect a zero return or zero response on your flyers the first 2 times you hit the same area. The third time, I don't know why. It's just the truth. I've experienced it myself many times. The third time you hit an area, for some reason, floodgates open, and that's when it starts working.
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up because there are times that I've received flyers and I've never heard of the company before. And I think,
Mhm.
wow, that might be a great service. This might be somebody I would want to give my business to, but I've never seen or heard of them before. If they are for real, they'll come back around at another time. Don't need their service today, but I may see them again. And the
Yep.
second or third time I see that flyer, I'm like, oh, they did come back. Lo and
Yeah.
behold, they are working in my neighborhood. It wasn't just a ploy to get me to call them
Mhm.
the first time. So, what do you have to say about the second or third time? Same process as before, or is there anything that you do differently?
Actually, there's nothing I do differently, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm telling you what I've done. We did not come up with different designs to hit the second or third time. My mind says the same design is better, because they'll they might remember your name, they might remember the photos, they might remember the color. So if it's the same thing, it gives them more things to remember the second or third time. And one more thing about the frequency is, you don't have to stop on the third one. When you find a good area, like we have one area here in near Orlando that we've probably hit 12, 13 times and continued to get a response. Now, I don't do those types of flyers anymore, so I'm not hitting that area with them. But now my wife has a cleaning business, and she's hitting that area, and she's doing the same thing over and over and over, and starting to get a good response.
And so, when you do the flyers, are you putting them inside people's mailboxes? Are you putting them inside the newspaper boxes? Are you putting them as door hangers on their doors? What is your process for dropping them off?
Everybody listen very carefully. Don't put them in the mailbox. It's highly illegal, and it'll get you in a lot of trouble. You can, as far as I understand, we don't have them around here, but I do think you can put them in a little newspaper slip, but don't put them on the mailbox, on it, in it, or anything like that. We would actually place them under the doormat. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but we would put it under the doormat because I had that big fat headline on the top of it, and I'd leave the headline sticking out, and it forced them to see my headline. So I used to roll them up and like kind of stick them in the door handle or something like that. But I started putting them halfway into that doormat. They had to see the headline, and it worked great. I think a door hanger would do the same effect. You put the door hanger on there, and then it has your headline, but the flyer was bigger, so that's why we went that route.
I like the flyer under the doormat for this reason. It's not going to blow away. And
Hmm.
every time they come out of the house, if they come out of that door, they're going to see it. If they don't come out for a couple of days, it's still there waiting for them when they do. And it doesn't
Yep.
look bad from the street, where some of the door hangers look bad from the street. And they're like, oh, somebody
Hmm.
plastered the neighborhood, or that, whatever.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Alrighty. So is there anything as far as credentials go that you would put on a flyer that you're passing out?
Yeah, I mean, it never hurts to have something like we're a part of the WCRA, the Window Cleaning Resource Association, and the PWRA, same thing, Pressure Washing Resource Association. And then we have actually we got this after we were doing the flyers back then, but we added a certification from Spray Wash Academy, plant and property protection. So I would have that on there as well. But again, those things still need to be the smaller stuff. If I can just give the best advice aside from hustle, get thousands and thousands of them out, hit the same areas 3 times. The design, you have to, as business owners, we're very proud of what we've built. It's our baby, and it's like we are in love with it, but no one else is. And we've got to understand, it's the marketing is not about me, it's about my potential client. So what your flyer has to tell them, and it has to tell them in like 1 second, is what problem of yours do I solve? And for me, it's pressure washing, window cleaning, and house washing. That's what our roof cleaning, pressure house washing, window cleaning. That's what my flyers solved for people. So that's what they needed to see first. My logo was one of the smallest things. My logo was the smallest thing down in the bottom right corner. Phone number's big. The website needs to be. It doesn't need to be huge, but the phone number big. The website pretty big. But what you do, the photos of it, those are the important things.
And do you include any testimonials on it, or that's not the place for the flyer? You leave that stuff on your website?
I had, and actually the ones that I use the most had no testimonials. I don't think that's a bad idea. If I was going to create a new one today, I'd maybe consider, like on the back side of those real big ones where the coupon is, I'd maybe consider putting 1 or 2 on there, but I wouldn't put like 10 or something like that. What we do is we put we'd put, like today, I would put 399 Google reviews with a 5.0 rating. And then that let them know we have all these testimonials and they could go research this. So put like, I have all of these reviews, or I have a 5.0 rating on Google or on Angie's List or whatever.
That was my next question, the social proof. Do you think
Mhm.
that's important? And you just answered that question. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because
on mine specifically, I had the Google and the Facebook, this many Google reviews, this many Facebook reviews. That's what we did on ours.
perfect. And do you also have a link to your Facebook page so that people can find you on Facebook, like your at name or whatever?
I did not. Maybe I should. But no, I didn't. I just had our website I just had the website on there. So our company name, our website, and our phone number. It did the trick for us.
Yeah, the website is perfect because then
Mhm.
most people link to their Facebook or whatever from their website. If they want more information, they can find you there.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice. Okay, well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for this information. Please share
My
with our
pleasure.
listeners where they can go to find you, and especially if they live in Orlando and they need pressure washing and window cleaning.
The company address is trtcleans.com. And if you just want to know more, you want to connect with me, if you're going to be in Orlando, you can go to journeyofanewentrepreneur.com. Hard to spell right in one shot, but work hard on it.
We'll leave links in the show notes to that as well. I have to ask you to please tell us about your podcast. You've got this amazing podcast, and it's for entrepreneurs that are going through this journey of building your own business. So I would love to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's called Journey of a New Entrepreneur, and the short of it is it's not a how-to. We do share some how-to stuff, from time to time, but the main focus of the show is the emotional journey of chasing your dreams, because that's what entrepreneurs are. We're people that just chase our dreams. So we share the bad stuff, we share the good stuff, we share everything in between, but the in-between stuff's not as interesting. But we share the good, the bad, what it's like, and you also get, as you know, you were a guest on my show, and we have some really great guests that have great experience that share a lot of practical, applicable tips that they can apply to their business as well.
Gosh, well, you're brilliant, Bobby. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm going to leave links in the show notes to all of that so that our listeners can find you.
Thank you so much. It was a blast.
Alrighty, guys, and that was Bobby Walker. I tell you what, he is brilliant when it comes to marketing. And I'm going to leave links in the show notes to his podcast and his YouTube channel, also his website, so that you can check out his business. Just look around and see at all the different amazing things he's put together that help streamline the focus of his marketing. I also happen to know, and this is kind of a whisper on the back burner, he's got a marketing course coming out. I'll keep you posted and we'll have him back on the show. Alrighty, if you found this helpful, please pass it on to a friend. If we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.